Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a great day. We're taking a look here at AVAX, double checking a few important factors here. Still respecting the ascending trend line. We're going to have to update our fib levels here a little bit and see kind of what's going on for this next push. But the general consensus is that AVAX is pretty darn bullish, folks. This is a good sign. Absolutely likely to continue, but we're going to make sure we're not just blindly bullish. I do not recommend, in any sense of the word, when coins are moving like this, to consider a short. While there's a lot of meat left on the bone, the price could pull back. There's probably some fair value gap, which there is. Then it's still not really worthwhile taking a trade because again, it's just inherently more risky. So once more, I'm always going to be a little more risk averse myself, so I'll always recommend best practice to you as well. Just because crypto markets, it can be very volatile, and if you've experienced any losses recently, join the club, folks. It's just extremely normal, but you experience a lot less loss, a lot less difficulty, if you will, when you are trading with confirmation. And that's really what I like to try to reinforce here. So let's take a look here. Just before we get started, I just want to say thank you for the awesome feedback to my community. Glad we got a nice little SU high long there at 33%. That coin is cranking right now, considering a second entry. I uploaded a video there recently, so to make sure you check that out. Also caught some nice profits from HBAR and what was it, Tau, if I'm not mistaken, late last week. So again, while the profits haven't been flowing in, I know there's tons of opportunity. There's also a lot of missed opportunity too, and you want to be careful not FOMOing into every single coin. But the truth is, you're going to find a lot more success taking longs with shorts with most altcoins at this moment, considering Bitcoin dominance is pulling back, and Bitcoin's mostly going sideways in the range of 90 to 100K. Anyways, how does that affect AVAX? Well, let's take a look at liquidation and see if we can get a bit of an understanding here. First of all, $43, $44, down as low as 41. There's a lot of liquidation there. Oops, you can see just kind of a big old chunk there. So I'm not super concerned with that. We're a long ways away from that, but just know that that exists. There's also this upper level liquidation that got swept really hard. You can see this candle wake up and the price just rakes right back down. This is a really common occurrence with crypto right now, folks, where you're going to see coins performing pretty well and then just out of nowhere just dumps city. Okay, again, a lot of it is with liquidation. So as you can see, that upper level got swept. Very little opposition here at this point. Mostly liquidation to the left to the downside. We take a look here at the liquidation delta here for AVAX. We can see it's pretty balanced. In other words, we are not getting too over leveraged with longs or shorts. They're kind of averaging each other out, which tells us that the price action is kind of at it's at a turning point. In other words, could take off or pull way back. A lot of that, I think, just depends on Bitcoin. Let's take a quick look here at the liquidation, open interest rather. It's not liquidation. This kind of lets us know how many positions are open at what level, and this is the heaviest concentration at about 48.75. That reinforces some support at that $49 range, which we've talked about recently, being a good consideration for a long. So we're traveling back into that support range. Might be worth considering a long position here soon. So we'll talk about that in a minute. First things first, though, daily time frame. Everything's looking pretty bullish here still, so there's no real reason, again, just to kind of reinforce this, to consider shorting this coin right now. Doesn't make a ton of sense. We're above all moving averages. We're still over 70 in the RSI, generally construed as a leave your long position open sign. Same thing with money flow index coming back up above the RSI. That's huge, right? We got more money flowing into this coin than coming out, and this extra amount of volume is super awesome. Okay, so we're sustaining this price action by maintaining above that moving average. All great things. Okay, 4-hour time frame will reflect slightly different price action, or in other words, different moving averages, etc. We're still above all four, so that's great. But again, we can see we're maintaining above the 20 and the 50, pretty nice. Same thing here as well with the RSI. We're over 50 in the RSI. This is perfect. I love to see when the RSI tapers off closer to 50 and the price goes sideways like it has. That's generally construed as a bullish sign. Okay, MACD is soon to diverge though, so just keep in mind we may get a false positive there. Last time we saw a divergence on the MACD, let's just kind of double check this here. The significant divergence, you could say, was right here. As soon as the price diverged, it shot straight up. So I don't think you should trust the MACD when we have consistent higher highs and higher lows in situations like this. Anytime it crosses down, it's never a good sign just to consider shorting. If anything, you wait for the price to pull back and buy the next dip. When we take a look here, though, speaking of dip, we can kind of see that we're kind of right there at that level. Look at this local high. We can see right there, $49 as a round number, $49 with that previous resistance. Now it looks like it's a new support level. So AVAX does have decent propensity here to continue higher. Let's see what the Ichimoku Cloud tells us here too. Lag span's free and clear, conversion lines with the baseline, and of course we got the a nice little cloud there below the price action. So we've pretty much got 9 out of 10 reasons why long positions makes a lot more sense with AVAX than it would be to consider shorting. The only caveat here is if Bitcoin were to pull back significantly, we may see a bit of a correction. But if you look at this price action for Bitcoin, it keeps making lower highs and lower lows, AVAX higher highs and higher lows. So that's a complete inverse pairing, which is good. So hypothetically, Bitcoin doesn't pull back significantly. We should experience continuation higher with AVAX. $49 is a tentative support level, and then secondary to that would be 46 as a rough estimate, because again, we got local highs turned into new lows here. That's the general consensus there. We got some support there. Okay. So AVAX, I think, is looking like it's primed and ready to rock and roll. I would look for an entry between 49 and 50. That's just generally the idea. Again, for right now, that's how it works. 24, 40 hours from now, this may be a much different story. And that's just how crypto market works, folks. So you got to kind of roll with the punches. I hope you learned something today, though. Make sure you check out Bitunix too, folks. To my community who've used my link to register, you're automatically eligible for this. So just deposit some funds, get the bonus, withdraw if you want to. Either way you look at it, significant benefit here. Link down below for description if you're curious. And obviously join us over on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. I'll post a playout chart here shortly. By the way, SUI is looking primed and ready to rock and roll. Looking pretty solid there. Anyways, conversation for another day. We'll see you in the next one. Have yourself a great rest of your day. Thanks again for your time. Take care.